Here's something that might surprise you. When a woman doesn't value you and you walk away, her regret doesn't just hit once, it multiplies every single month that passes. If you've ever been with someone who took you for granted, made you feel like you were never enough, or pulled away when you gave your best, and now you're wondering if she even thinks about you, this is for you. Because here's the truth. Most men think that when a woman loses interest or rejects you, she moves on and never looks back. But that's not how female psychology actually works. Time doesn't erase regret. It compounds it. Month 1, she feels relief. Month 3, she starts comparing. Month 6, reality hits. Month 12, she's fully aware of what she lost, but by then, you're already gone. I'm going to walk you through exactly what happens in her mind as each month passes after she didn't value the good man standing right in front of her. You'll see why her regret grows, what triggers each stage, and why the longer you stay silent, the more painful her realization becomes. This isn't about revenge. This is about understanding the psychological timeline that proves time was always on your side, not hers. Let me be clear about something first. This video isn't about how to get her back. I'm not here to give you tactics to manipulate someone into wanting you again. That's not the point. This is about understanding female psychology when it comes to regret, loss, and realization. Because when you understand what's actually happening in her mind over time, you stop wondering, you stop second-guessing yourself, and you start seeing the situation for what it really is. I'm going to walk you through the psychological timeline with complete honesty, not to make you feel better with false hope, but to give you clarity on how delayed regret actually works in women who lose good men. So here's what actually happens when a woman doesn't value you and you walk away. Think about this for a second. You were consistent. You showed up. You gave effort when she pulled back. You communicated when things got difficult. You were emotionally stable when she was all over the place. And somehow, that wasn't enough for her in the moment. It's one of the most confusing experiences a man can go through, being undervalued by someone you genuinely invested in. You start questioning yourself. Was I too available? Was I not exciting enough? Did I care too much? But here's what you need to understand. Women don't process value in real time the same way men do. Men recognize quality immediately. When a man meets a good woman, he knows it right away. He sees her consistency, her character, her effort, and he appreciates it in the moment. Women are different. Female attraction and value recognition work on a delay. It's not intentional, and it's not malicious. It's just how the brain processes emotional decisions versus rational ones. In the moment, she's focused on feelings. Excitement, novelty, the emotional high, your stability. That registers as safe, but not exciting. Your consistency. That feels like a given, not a gift. So she makes a decision based on emotion, not logic. She walks away. She chooses someone else. She pulls back. And in that moment, she genuinely believes she's making the right choice. But emotion fades. And when it does, the rational brain kicks in. That's when the comparison starts. That's when regret begins. And that's exactly where this timeline begins. Let me break down exactly what happens. Month by month. Month 1 through 3. Relief. Month 4 through 6. Comparison. Month 7 through 9. Realization. Month 10 through 12. Acceptance. And after that, the regret compounds permanently. Let's start with month 1. Month 1, 2, 3. This is her relief phase. She feels good. She feels free. She feels like she made the right decision. Here's what's happening in her mind during these first few months. She's telling herself a story. I needed space. I needed to find myself. He was great, but he wasn't right for me. I deserve better. I deserve more excitement, more chemistry, more of that feeling I was missing. And honestly, she believes it. This isn't her lying to herself. This is her brain protecting the decision she made. It's called post-decision rationalization. Once we make a choice, especially a major one, our brain works overtime to justify it. She left, so now her brain is finding every reason why leaving was correct. During this phase, she's active. She's dating. She's posting on social media. She's going out with friends. She's telling everyone how good she feels, how she made the right call. She might even talk about you, but only to reinforce her narrative. He was nice, but he was stable, but there's always a but. And here's what you need to understand. This phase is real for her. She genuinely feels relieved. Your absence feels like freedom, not loss. The weight of the relationship being off her shoulders feels good. She's not missing you yet because she hasn't needed you yet. What she doesn't realize is that this relief is temporary. It's the emotional high of a new decision, the dopamine rush of novelty and possibility. She's not thinking long term. She's not comparing the new guys to you in any meaningful way yet. She's just enjoying the moment. If you're watching this and you're in the first 3 months after she walked away, and you're seeing her look happy, this is why. It's not that you weren't valuable. It's that her brain is still in decision protection mode. She hasn't lived enough of life without you to realize what she gave up. So what changes? What makes her move out of relief and into the next phase? Reality. New experiences. Comparison. And that's exactly what starts happening around month 4. Month 4, 5, 6. The comparison phase. And this is where things start to shift for her. The novelty has worn off. She's been dating. She's been meeting new guys. And here's what she's discovering. Nobody's showing up the way you did. The guy who was exciting in the beginning. He's inconsistent. He texts when he feels like it. He cancels plans. He doesn't follow through. The guy who had chemistry. He's emotionally unavailable. He doesn't communicate. He doesn't make her feel secure. The guy who seemed more fun. He's shallow. There's no depth, no real connection, nothing beneath the surface. And slowly, painfully, she starts to notice patterns. Every new interaction highlights something you used to do that she took for granted. You texted back. You made plans and kept them. You asked how her day was and actually listened. You remembered details. You showed up emotionally, not just physically. She's not ready to admit she made a mistake yet. Her pride won't let her. But the comparisons are happening. She's thinking about you more often. Not obsessively, but noticeably. Your name crosses her mind when a guy flakes, when someone doesn't text back, when she feels like she's putting in all the effort and getting nothing back. This is also when she starts checking your social media more frequently. Not every day, but enough. She's curious. Are you dating someone? Are you doing okay? Did you move on? She's not reaching out yet, but she's watching from a distance. Here's what's critical to understand. This phase isn't about her wanting you back. It's about her questioning her decision. She's starting to realize that what she thought was boring or too stable was actually rare. The consistency she dismissed, that's what's missing everywhere else. The emotional availability she took for granted. Nobody else is offering it. And the more she dates, the more she compares. The more she compares, the more the cracks in her decisions start to show. But she's still not at the point of full realization. That comes next. Month 7 is where the real shift happens, where comparison turns into regret. Month 7, 8, 9. This is the realization phase. And this is where everything changes for her. If you're still watching, you're ahead of 95% of men who don't understand how this psychological timeline actually works, because this is the phase where her regret becomes undeniable, even to herself. By month 7, she's not just comparing anymore. She's recognizing patterns. Multiple guys have shown her the same disappointing behaviors. The inconsistency isn't a one-off. It's the norm. The emotional unavailability isn't bad luck. It's what most men offer. The lack of follow-through, the surface-level connections, the flakiness. This is what's actually out there. And here's what hits her. You were different. Not perfect, but different. You were the anomaly, not the standard. The qualities she dismissed as too nice or too available or not exciting enough. Those were actually rare. Consistency is rare. Emotional stability is rare. A man who genuinely shows up and invests. That's not common. That's exceptional. This is when she starts thinking about you specifically, not just what you represent. She remembers conversations. She remembers how you made her feel safe. She remembers the little things. How you listened, how you remembered, how you cared about details that mattered to her. She remembers that you didn't play games. You didn't make her guess where she stood. You were clear, direct, present. And now she's with guys who do the opposite, and the contrast is painful. Here's what women will never admit out loud. This is the month we start the what-if spiral. What if I was wrong? What if I gave up someone actually good? What if the grass isn't greener? What if I was chasing feelings instead of recognizing value? What if he was the one, and I was too immature to see it? She might soft reach out during this phase. A random text. A like on social media. A message through a mutual friend. She's testing the waters without risking her pride. She's seeing if you're still thinking about her, if the door is still open, if she burned the bridge completely. But here's the critical part. Even when she reaches this realization, pride still blocks her from direct action. She wants you to reach out first. She wants you to make it easy for her. She wants to avoid admitting she was wrong. So she stays silent, watches from a distance, and hopes you'll somehow know she regrets it. But the longer you stay gone, the more painful her realization becomes. Because month 10, 11, 12. That's when acceptance hits. And acceptance is where the regret solidifies permanently. Month 10, 11, 12. The acceptance phase. This is when she stops questioning and starts knowing. By now, enough time has passed. She's had enough experiences, enough comparisons, enough disappointments. The realization from months 7 through 9 has solidified into full acceptance. She made a mistake. You were the good one. And you're truly gone. This is the phase where the regret crystallizes. It's no longer a vague feeling of maybe I was wrong. It's a clear, painful awareness. I was wrong. The narrative she told herself in months 1 through 3, about needing space, deserving better, finding more excitement, it all falls apart. Because the space didn't lead anywhere meaningful. The better options turned out worse. The excitement was shallow and temporary. Here's what happens during this phase. She sees you as the one that got away. That phrase starts forming in her mind. Not because you were perfect, but because you were real, consistent, and actually cared. And she walked away from that. The weight of that decision settles in. She might attempt a more direct reach out during these months. Not a casual like or a random text. Something more intentional. An apology. A confession. A how have you been? That's clearly loaded with more. She knows she messed up. She knows you were valuable. And if her pride allows it, she'll try to see if there's any chance left. But here's what she's also noticing. You're not reaching out. Your silence is deafening. Every week that passes without contact from you is proof that you've moved on, and that terrifies her because it confirms what she's been fearing. She lost you for real. Friends might even start telling her things like, "He was really good to you," or "You should reach out to him." External validation of her internal regret. And that makes it worse, because now it's not just her realizing she made a mistake. Other people see it too. Seasonal triggers intensify the regret during this phase. Holidays, anniversaries, places you used to go together. Every reminder stings. Every memory highlights the loss. And then month 12 passes. A full year. And that's when something shifts permanently. Because after a year, her regret doesn't fade. It compounds. Month 13, 14, and beyond. That's where this timeline gets even more interesting. After month 12, the regret doesn't fade. It multiplies. And here's why. Every new month after the first year adds more evidence to the pile. Every failed relationship reinforces the same truth. He was different. Every disappointing date proves the pattern. Quality men are rare. Every time she has to start over with someone new, she remembers. He already knew me, understood me, accepted me. This is the compounding phase. And it's permanent. Here's the psychology. Loss aversion combined with scarcity and time investment. She doesn't just regret losing you, she regrets losing the time, the foundation, the history you built together. Starting over with someone new means rebuilding everything from scratch. And the older she gets, the more exhausting that sounds. The comparison pool shrinks as time passes. The dating market reality becomes clearer. The men who are actually emotionally available, consistent, and genuinely interested, they're getting rarer. The good ones are taken. The ones who are single often have reasons. And she starts realizing, you were one of the good ones. And you're not coming back. Each month that passes without contact from you is proof that you've moved on. She sees it in your social media, and in the way you've continued your life without her, in the fact that you're not chasing her anymore. And that finality is what makes the regret compound. She can't undo it. She can't go back. The window is closed. She might reach out occasionally, a random text on a holiday, a late-night message when she's feeling nostalgic, a "been thinking about you" after a bad breakup. But by this point, those reach-outs aren't coming from a place of strength. They're coming from regret, loneliness, and the realization that she let something real slip away. And the longer you stay silent, the heavier her regret becomes. Because every month that passes proves the same thing. Time was on your side, not hers. So now you understand the full timeline, month 1 through 12, and beyond. But here's what you need to understand about all of this. Here's the hard truth most people won't tell you. Even if she realizes what she lost, even if her regret multiplies every month, even if she reaches out, it doesn't mean you should respond. And here's why. The same woman who didn't value you when you were present won't suddenly be capable of valuing you because she's in pain. Her regret isn't about you, it's about what you represented. Security. Consistency. The safety net she walked away from. She doesn't miss you. She misses the feeling of being valued by someone who actually showed up. If you take her back, you become the backup plan she settled for after the market proved her wrong. You become the safe option she returns to because everything else didn't work out. You become the man she chose second, not first. And here's the brutal truth. Women don't respect men they can come back to. The moment you take her back after she devalued you, you've shown her that your standards are negotiable, that your self-respect has a price, that she can leave, try other options, fail, and still have you waiting. That's not love. That's convenience. You deserve to be someone's first choice, not their backup plan. You deserve a woman who recognizes your value in real time, not after she's exhausted every other option. You deserve someone who chooses you because she sees what she has, not because she lost it and regrets it. Her regret is not your responsibility. Her timeline is not your problem. And her reaching out doesn't obligate you to respond. So here's what I want to know. Have you seen this regret pattern play out in your own life? How many months did it take before she reached out? What did she say when she came back? Did you respond? And if you did, what happened? Are you currently in this timeline right now? And if so, which month are you in? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one, and your experience helps other men who are going through the exact same thing understand that they're not alone in this speg. Because here's the bigger picture. This channel isn't just about understanding one woman's regret timeline. It's about understanding female psychology so you can protect your peace, maintain your standards, and stop getting trapped in situations where you're undervalued. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit subscribe. There's a lot more content coming on dating dynamics, female psychology, and how to position yourself as a high-value man who doesn't chase, doesn't settle, and doesn't compromise his self-respect. And remember this, her regret is not your responsibility. Her timeline is not your problem. The woman who walks away from a good man and comes back months later isn't coming back because she suddenly became capable of valuing you. She's coming back because the market reminded her what she had. You don't owe her a second chance. You don't owe her closure. You don't owe her anything. The man who walks away from someone who didn't value him isn't losing anything. He's protecting everything. She'll remember you. But you've already moved forward. And that's the ultimate power flip.